Student athletes in Florida could be forced to turn in detailed information about their menstrual cycles because, politicians in Florida, conservatives in Florida are real concerned about being creepy toward underage students. Now, remember, this is the same state that has made the teaching profession so difficult that teachers have gotten rid of books in their classrooms out of fear that they'll be prosecuted for having a book that is deemed inappropriate for students. I mean, there are literal book bans happening as we speak in Florida because they're worried about sexualizing students. And at the same time, they're now calling for mandatory paperwork and detailed information about these students' menstrual cycles. So this is an anti-trans policy. Let's just be clear about that. Let me give you the details. This comes after the Florida High School Athletics Association announced last October that it was changing its physical form for student athletes to a digital version. Now that form includes optional but detailed questions about students' menstruation cycles, including when they got their first period, when they had their most recent one, and how many weeks passed between periods. But now the FHSAA wants to see those recommendations not only put into action, but mandatory. Despite widespread public outcry, an FHSAA panel not only decided Tuesday night to stand by that change, but to also recommend that the menstrual history questions be made mandatory. The recommendation now goes before the FHSAA board of directors, which will meet in late February to make their final decision. Now look, I think this is super creepy. I don't think there is any reason for any adult in any school system in any state to ask female athletes detailed information about their menstruation. Okay, it is one of the creepy. I mean, I just, and this is all because they want to discriminate against transgender athletes. That's what this is all about at the end of the day.
So look, I'm not sure that they're all perverts, but sure, that's a distinct possibility. Use the transgender issue as a way of, let me check all the girls in high school, their menstrual cycles, okay? I don't know how they get off on it. I don't know what their perversion is, but a lot of Republicans are perverts that like to use this as an excuse to find out the personal lives of kids. Well, they suggested in other states doing genitalia checks. I bet every one of them raised their hand to be the checker, okay, of little kids. That's what groomers do. Very Republican of them. So in this case though, it's probably mainly because they want to spread hatred towards people who are transgender. And so violating your daughter's privacy in the most extreme way imaginable is just a side effect of their hatred. Okay, so does that make you feel better?
I mean, it's the way they're doing this too is super creepy and has some serious privacy violation implications. So period tracker apps and the platform that hosts Florida's new digital athletics form are not owned by medical institutions and therefore are not subject to health privacy laws. If subpoenaed for someone's data, particularly in a state where abortion has been made illegal, companies would be required to hand it over. No, there's nothing, this sounds like freedom, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Real freedom.
Yeah, these are the guys who talk about cancel culture and then remove all books from the libraries that we just showed you in a different story today in same state, Florida. And then they're like, look, man, you do whatever you want and freedom, etc. But now give me all of your private details and you don't have a choice. And I'm gonna have all my perverts in the Republican Party rifle through it. And underage girls, oh, even better. Those are the ones we had to check the most. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Look, again, I don't know what perversions you guys are into, but this is disgusting. If I lived in a red state, there's no way in the world I'm gonna hand over my daughter's information to a bunch of pervert Republicans.
And look,
0% chance.
And I want to be clear that there are other states that have some requirements that might seem similar to this, but there's a huge difference. So let's go to Jessica Valenti's tweet here, because as she mentions, other states and athletic programs require physicals, including details about menstruation. from students, but they allow all that private info to stay with the kids' doctors. And this is the really creepy part because Florida doesn't. They want it turned in directly to school administrators.
Yeah, because freedom, because we care, don't tread on me. I mean, unless it's your menstrual cycle, then literally tread on us.
Oh God.
Okay, I mean, look, that's the Republican policy in Florida. Enjoy it, people in Florida, and give away all of your daughter's information to them. I'm sure somebody will get off on it. Sick, you people are sick.